Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to break down the 5-game NBA main slate on Thursday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. If you cannot watch these YouTube videos, I do upload an Apple Podcast. I have a link in the description below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you guys are interested in signing up for premium content, and I'll offer that on Patreon.com. A couple different packages, esports package, which includes Call of Duty and CSGO, and NBA package. And then finally, I want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring the show. If this is your first time watching, or maybe you're just not familiar with what Underdog Fantasy is, so they have daily fantasy snake drafts as well as season-long best ball. So if you're into best ball, Underdog Fantasy is probably for you. After you sign up, you can use the code after you sign up and deposit, you can use the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word. They will honor a money-back guarantee up to $100. And then finally, I do want to thank you guys for the continued support on the videos, live streams, as well as on Twitter. It's really, really greatly appreciated. If you do enjoy this content, if you could leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos live. That would be very, very helpful. As always, I will be doing it live stream before lock on YouTube, and let's aim for 200 likes on this video. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into it. So before we talk about players and the prices for this 5-game slate, we got to look back at my lineup here from Wednesday. And Wednesday, like, I'm sure you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you know what's coming here. It's just, I'm kind of immune to it. I just kind of expect it. I just expect it every single night now. Worst possible outcomes, that's what happens for me every single night. So, let's go over my lineup. Russell Westbrook, Bryn Forbes, Josh Hart, Domantas Sabonis, Chris Boucher, LaMelo Ball, Pat Connaughton, and Ja Morant. So first, there's a lot of things I got to talk about here. Let's start with number 1. Russell Westbrook, the three fouls in the first half. That was tilting, plus the blowout there. It's like, okay, he still got 42. I guess I can take it. Chris Boucher, I was really, really upset in that first half when he only played 7 minutes, but they actually closed with him, and you guys knew he was my favorite tournament play. 44 fantasy points, that was really good. Sabonis, again, that was a blowout. That was unexpected, but still got 41 fantasy points in a blowout. What I am really, really upset about, the Charlotte-Memphis game, all right? So, LaMelo Ball, 5% owned. Ja Morant, 12% owned. You want to know what they had at halftime? They both had almost 30 fantasy points at half. Okay, it's a close game. I'm thinking, all right, this is going to be a big night for me. Low owned LaMelo, low owned Ja. They are both crushing. So, what happens? The game blows out. Not only does the game blow out. No, not only does it not, it blows out, plus rookie LaMelo Ball plays 5 minutes in the second half. I kid. 5 minutes. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm literally speechless, guys, because it's something every night. Literally 5 minutes for LaMelo Ball. He was on pace for probably at least 50 plus. At least 50 plus. Just, yeah. Don't even know what else to say. So, positive though, if you guys do follow me on Twitter, I alerted everyone about the Isaiah Roby news. He was literally the chalk. I think he was, if you guys played cash games, I heard he was like 60 to 70% owned. In this GPP, he was 50%. So that was good. I know a lot of you guys pivoted off him because I gave you guys that heads up in Twitter. I gave everyone a heads up in Discord as well as Patreon too. So that was good. That was good. But just like, man, I don't know how much more I can take of this just absolutely terrible luck. But yeah, that's it for the look back, guys. trying to stay positive, but not going to lie, it's a little bit hard when stuff like that continues to happen to me. I get like the low-owned guys that are absolutely crushing and just something randomly happens. Randomly 5 minutes for LaMelo Ball in the second half is just like, okay, all right. Okay, so enough of that. Let's hope, please, that my luck can turn around and for you guys to have a good night as well, because I won't lie, my luck has been absolutely terrible this season. All right, so we have 2 of the 5 games out right now. Pacers and Pistons at 219 over under. The Pacers are 3-point favorites. 76ers and Trailblazers at 229.5 over under. The 76ers are 5.5-point favorites. So we'll start off with Toronto and Boston. On the Toronto side, Van Fleet, Siakam, and Lowry. It looks like the prices really didn't move. Lowry was the guy I liked the best tonight because he's the cheapest. He went for 41 fancy points. What did Siakam and Van Fleet finish with? So Siakam finished with 40, and Van Fleet finished with 28. So that was good, right? I was on the right main Raptor of those 3 guys, but I told you guys my favorite play was Chris Boucher. So of the 3, again, I think I would just go for the cheapest, right? When they're priced about the same, then it's almost a coin flip because all of these Raptor guys have just been up and down. I mean, Fred VanVleet especially. Like, look at these stat lines. 19 fantasy points, 77, 30, 53, 54, 28. They are all really up and down. So if I'm going to pick one, it would be Kyle Lowry. Norman Powell, no thank you at 6'7". I once again like Chris Boucher a good amount. Only played 24 minutes. If he actually got a normal shift in the first half, he would have won for 50 plus. So if we get close to 30 minutes from Chris Boucher, he is too cheap at 6K. Really like him once again. The matchup's not as good here against Boston, but as long as the minutes are there, and there's never a guarantee with his minutes, so like it's always a kind of a GPP play for me. But if they get close to 30, he will pay off the salary for sure. And that's it for me on Toronto. Moving on to Boston. Boston, we have Tatum at 8-9, Jaylen Brown at 7-7. Both kind of secondary plays. I know Jaylen Brown had a good game. Last game went for 43 fantasy points, but neither are must plays. Kind of same with Kemba Walker at 6'5". It's just he has shot the ball literally terribly last couple games. 6 of 32. 6'5". I mean, he's been playing about 30 minutes. Again, they're all like filler plays for me. No priorities for me for Boston. With the bigs, Tice versus Thompson. So Tice actually fouled out the last game. He was probably on pace for mid-30s minutes. So if we get over 30 minutes, I think Daniel Tice is probably the one I prefer to Thompson. Thompson's been the slightly better point per minute guy, but Tice should play more minutes. So give me Tice there in that situation. Value-wise, I literally never trust the Boston value. I don't. Peyton Pritchard, minutes are up and down. Grant Williams has played 32, 23, and 28 minutes, but I would not be surprised if he plays like 10 minutes tomorrow. So it's like, sure, you can play Grant Williams, but just be careful. He's also a very low usage guy. We've seen some really low scores from him. I forget, there's one game I think he played like 20 minutes and like 1 fancy point. So he's viable, but it's like you're just never going to feel good. Robert Williams, minutes are always up and down on him. You can take a shot at him for GPPs. But yeah, Teague was basically out of the rotation last game. I'm probably just not going to deal with the Boston value. Moving on to Miami and Houston. So I do like the Miami side here. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler at 8-6 and 8-4 respectively. I think Bam is one of the better plays on the slate for sure. He should play 35 plus minutes. Love the matchup here against Boogie or whoever else they try to throw on him. So I do think Bam is a really good play there. And I do like Jimmy Butler too at 8-4. The price really isn't moving, and he's playing big minutes. He's been aggressive. He's getting like literally almost a triple-double every single night. So as long as we continue to get this aggressive Jimmy Butler, I like him and Bam a lot here. Now, still no Goran Dragic. Kendrick Nunn's a decent play. He'll start and probably play about 30-ish minutes. At 5'8", again, fine. Kelly Olynyk at 5K. The minutes been a little up and down. I think he's a fair play. Probably plays somewhere in the 20 to 30-minute range. If he plays only 20, obviously won't be as good of a play. If he gets close to the 30-minute mark, he will look better. So, yeah, fair play there. Duncan Robinson, you guys know by now what he is. Super reliant on scoring if he's not hitting his shots like he did not. He shot 0 of 7. The floor is literally single-digit fantasy points for him. And then Iguodala at 3.5, probably plays around 20 minutes, but has been a pretty low-usage guy. I don't know if I want to go there. All right, moving on to Houston. So, don't love the matchup here. Oladipo and John Wall, looks like they're both going to be good to go. Now, the positive I will say is John Wall was on pace for mid-30s minutes of the game to not blow out, and same with Oladipo. Houston's been involved with a ton of blowouts. So I'm expecting 35 plus minutes from Oladipo and John Wall, which I think actually makes them okay plays. I think I prefer John Wall to Oladipo. So yeah, both the Houston guards are viable because I think the minutes will be there for them. Boogie Cousins, it's just a tournament play right now. The minutes are trending down. He has not been playing well. You never know though, right? This is a big Miami team. If he plays well, maybe they extend him to 30 plus minutes. And we know like when he can get it going. He's gone for 50 plus fantasy points multiple times already this season. So I think an interesting contrarian play there, but being Boogie Cousins. I don't know if I get to any of the other value plays for Houston. Like Eric Gordon's kind of priced up for having Wall and Oladipo there. You know, if I had to pick one, maybe it's Daniel House, but again, kind of relying on scoring. And then like again, Sterling Brown, I just don't know if the minutes will be there for him with both Wall and Oladipo and Eric Gordon healthy. He's been a decent point per minute guy, but a lot of these games have been in blowouts where he's kind of really excelled. So I don't know if I get to anyone there on Houston for value. Moving on to the Pacers and the Pistons. So the Pacers surprisingly got blown out against the Nets. But yeah, I'm fine going right back to the well with Domantas Sabonis. I do like targeting bigs against the Detroit team. Not afraid of Blake Griffin or Mason Plumlee defense. So I do think Domantas Sabonis is a really solid play there at 8-8. Don't mind Brogdon either. I think he's a little bit too cheap. So yeah, both the top two guys for the Pacers I think are solid. Miles Turner, just the minutes are trending down in him. Don't love it. I'm probably not going to do it. So it's really Sabonis for me. Sabonis and Brogdon. Justin Holiday's too expensive, and I don't really trust anyway. I don't trust the rest of the Pacers value. Like, you can take a shot on Doug McDermott, but the floor is super, super low if he's not hitting his shots. The minutes have kind of been up and down for Lamb. McConnell seems priced, maybe a little bit overpriced. So it's kind of Sabonis and Brogdon for me, and that's it. On the Detroit side, sure, matchup may not be the best, but the pricing looks pretty solid in these guys. So I was really high on the top three guys for the Pistons at last game against Brooklyn. I still think they're solid. The prices didn't really move. We should get, high 30s minutes for Jeremy Grant. I like him. DeLon Wright with no Derrick Rose will play big minutes. He played 37 the last game. I think he is a little bit underpriced. And Mason Plumlee played insane minutes, 38 minutes. So if we're going to get like mid-30s minutes from all these main Pistons guys, they all look good at their respective prices. So I like Grant. I like DeLon Wright. I like Mason Plumlee. Now, with Mason Plumlee, I will mention he is a guy that has been prone to foul trouble, so you got to keep that in the back of your mind. I've been saying this all year, but Blake Griffin is completely washed. I don't care what price point he is. I will not play him. Josh Jackson at 5'8". You can look to him in GPPs. Would rather get to those other Pistons guys I mentioned for a little bit more. Like, would much rather get to Plumlee or DeLon Wright for a little bit more. Wayne Ellington at 4'2". Too reliant on scoring. He's finally come back down to earth. He went on that stretch where he just literally shot like 70% and people kept playing him even at 5K and getting bailed out. This is the Wayne Ellington I know. Again, if he's not hitting shots, he literally has single-digit fantasy points. I will not play him. That's probably it. Like, the minutes trended down on some of these bench guys. Sadiq Bey did play 21 minutes. I guess he's okay value, but yeah, that's basically what I got for the Pistons. Moving on to Orlando and Golden State. So Nikola Vucevic at 9.4K, I think, is one of the better plays of the slate. Golden State is really thin in the front court, right? They have Draymond, they have Juan Toscano Anderson, and they have Eric Pascal. So Vucevic should be able to feast here. I think he's one of the better spend-ups of the slate. We do have to monitor some news here with Fournier, Cole Anthony, and even Al-Farouq Amino. Now, if those guys are all out, I think Orlando's a team you're going to want a good amount of exposure to. So let's start off with Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross is normally a guy I don't like playing because he's very reliant on the scoring. But if there's no Cole Anthony, if there's no Evan Fournier, they have like no one else. So I'm fine going to Terrence Ross here. Again, he's usually on my list of guys I don't play, but like in this situation, when they are so thin, I am okay taking a shot on Terrence Ross because they need help on the offensive side of the ball. Dwayne Bacon will probably start and play 30-ish minutes, also kind of relying on the scoring, but firmly in play for value. James Ennis, a guy I got at pretty low ownership that last slate. 35 minutes, 31 fantasy points. If there's no Amino, if there's no Fournier, and no Cole Anthony, he should play similar minutes. I think he's a pretty good value play. And then if there's no Cole Anthony, I think Frank Mason is probably the best value play in the slate. Would assume he starts at point guard, would assume he gets probably over 30 minutes. So yeah, would really like Frank Mason if there's no Cole Anthony. And I will even mention Chumu Okeke. He's been getting more minutes, 22-27 that last game. So like, I think he's in play for value. Kem Birch, the minutes been trending down in him. 16, only 7 the last game, so I don't think I can go there. Gary Clark, if all those guys are out, will probably get minutes, but I don't even know if I can play him at 3-4. And that's really it for the Orlando Magic. So it really, again, depends on Fournier, Cole Anthony, even Amino. If they're all out, I think it's Vooch, and then probably a couple of value guys you're going to want to get to. On the Golden State side, so this Orlando team has not been great defensively. I think Steph Curry at 10-1 is one of the better GPP plays. You guys know by now, if you've been playing DFS this year, that Steph Curry has been very up and down, but we know the ceiling is 70+. So I think he's firmly in play for tournaments. I do like Draymond Green a good amount at 6'8". Was on pace for a decent game in the last game, and it blew out. So he's a guy that stuffs the stat sheet, and with no Wiseman, no Kevon Looney, it just really boosts his ceiling and floor, right? He's going back to the Draymond Green that we saw a couple years ago. He was just triple-double almost every single night. So I do like Draymond a good amount. I think that price might scare some people off. I'm fine going right back to the well. Oubre and Wiggins are always just, I don't love either. Oubre's been up and down. If you want to go to one of those guys, that's fine. Juan Toscano and Anderson at 5-1 with Eric Pascal back, lost some minutes, so I don't love the price on him. Again, Pascal probably won't play huge minutes, but it does make Juan Toscano and Anderson riskier. And then the bench guys are just, with Pascal now back, like they're just all lost minutes. Bazemore should play probably 13 to 15 minutes. I don't really want to get to anyone else on this team. So it's Steph Curry at the top for GPPs. I think Draymond in both formats just because he stuffs the stat sheet. And then, honestly, like, that's probably it. I think Oubre, Wiggins are both decent. Like, you can go to either of them. We've seen upside games from Oubre. We've seen upside games from Wiggins. So, like, if you think Steph struggles, then yeah, you can look to one of those guys. But I think they're both just priced accordingly. And finally, Philly and Portland. So, love the matchup here for the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid at 10-8, I think, makes for a really, really good spend up. Enes Kanter, not a good defender. Embiid should be able to have his way, so I really do like him. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris. I think these guys are fine in a good matchup, but I usually like getting to them when like Embiid is out. So again, they're both filler guys. I do like the spot for them, but neither are priorities. Now, Shake Milton is doubtful. So Seth Curry at 4-7, will he play more minutes? I'm not sure if he plays more minutes. I think it's probably a combination of like Korkmaz and Maxey that play a little bit more. So either way, though, Seth Curry, I think, gets around 30-ish minutes, relying on scoring, so there is a risk with him, but okay play in the mid-range. Danny Green might play a little bit more too, but also super, super reliant on scoring. And then you have Korkmaz and Maxey. Korkmaz has actually been playing more. He's been playing somewhere around like 15 to 20-ish minutes, and with no Shake Milton, I would assume those minutes go up. So I think he's a realistic guy you can take a shot on for GPPs. And then Maxey was basically been out of the rotation, but with no Shake Milton, he might get some run here. So risky play at 3-2, but I think he's someone you can look to for GPPs. And finally, Portland. So Damian Lillard at the top at 9.8K, I think makes for a really good spin up. He kind of had a floor game there against Orlando. The matchup, I think that people will avoid him. But if we're going to get a low-owned Dame at below 10K, I think he is firmly in play for tournaments. Because like Steph Curry, Dame's got 70 fantasy point upside in him too. So like him for tournaments a good amount. Enes Kanter, my one concern is, and you guys kind of know my rule by now, I don't like targeting opposing centers against Joel Embiid because of the foul trouble risk. He did stay out of foul trouble last game he played against Embiid. He actually has had a couple big games against Embiid too, so I think you can go there in tournaments. You could realistically run both Embiid and Kanter together if you want to for like a mini stack. The rest of Portland, Trent and Covington are both filler plays for me. Minutes should be there, but they seem priced about right. Melo, 5.5, a little pricey. Simons and Hood, no thank you. I will mention Derrick Jones Jr. just because he was off a minutes limit, so he played 29 minutes the last game. If we're going to get close to 30 minutes out of Jones Jr. at 3.8K, I think that is a little cheap. So I think Derrick Jones Jr. would be like the cheap wing I would look to on the Portland side. But yeah, that's really it for the breakdown, guys. And I think that's going to do it for the video as well. So if you haven't enjoyed the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't know live. Again, I will be live streaming tomorrow on my YouTube channel to go over everything, answer all your guys' questions. Thanks again. Have a great night, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow in the live stream.